Welcome back to FPL Take the Hit. You're here with Mick and Joff. Today we are talking everything game week 1. But before we start, just a little bit about us. Joff and I have been playing this game from Australia for over 13 years, since it began, since the beginning of time. We have 13 1% finishes between us. So that's just literally quickly a bit about us. Now, we're going to get straight into it right now. We're going to start talking about the Community Shield. Joff, what did you think, mate?
What a game. That Walker goal line clearance, I'm going to go straight to that Walker goal line clearance.
That's the last thing that happened.
That was insane. That was just, it epitomizes like the determination that they both wanted that. They both wanted that upper hand in the title race.
True. I think it is. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, it's pretty much the first taste of real football that we get for the season. I mean, it does matter. It is, it's silverware, I guess. But yeah, at the same time, whoever wins it, they like to bag on about it. Oh, we won the Community Shield, and then the other team's always like, yeah, okay, if that counts as a real title. So, at the same time, you got to take it as it is. But I think it is, you get a first taste of what the teams look like, what the real Game Week 1 lineup could look like. On Aguero, that's a bit scary that Pep chose Jesus over Aguero to come on for Sane when Sane got injured. Just a little food for thought there.
Oh, 100%, man. He didn't even come off the bench. It was weird. I
wonder if he's going to be in your Game Week 1 lineup.
I don't know anymore. Now all I've got is press conferences anyway. But
that's it. That's really where it's at. So, all right, let's crack off with a bit of Sterling, a bit of Sterlo, a bit of undeniable, just unbelievable. He had a great game. I am struggling to understand people, managers, anybody in this planet that is not going to start with Sterling game week 1.
Really? Are you that, you're obsessed with him?
I'm sold. Hey, sold me. He sold me, mate. I'm done.
I mean, he scored a tap in, yeah, while he was playing that centre forward role, because I think basically Jesus just came on after that play. But I don't know. I'm still umming and ahhing. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I definitely, floated the thought of him in my team for the first time all preseason after he scored that goal. I'm not going to lie, but I'm still not sold by a long way. One goal. He's a great player. There's no doubt, but I'm still not convinced. I'm going to wait for the press conferences, but he might start my game week 1 team somehow.
He will, mate. Just stop. Just stop, please. You're embarrassing yourself. Your mum's upset. Just leave it alone, all right? Sterling's going to be in your team game week 1. We know that.
We'll see. No, we'll continue.
All right.
No way.
It's just he's playing up front now. Maybe Jesus and Aguero, one of them doesn't start in game week 1 away to West Ham. We don't know. We don't know how tired they are. We don't know what Pep's going to do. So obviously Sterling starts up front. Even if he doesn't, he starts on the right, basically up front alongside either Aguero or Jesus. The guy is, mate, like I said before, I'll say it again, he's going to have the best season he's ever had.
All right. Yeah, he has to have the best season that he's ever had because he's got to be improving. He's got to be going down that path. It's a given. He has to have he better have his best season. He better be sizzling bloody Sterling all season, man. Hot off the press. He better be captainable.
Absolutely.
Would you captain him? Would you
Absolutely. I'm thinking of captaining him game week 1. Oh yeah. Don't you start, mate. I'm definitely looking at him. I mean, it's tough.
Wait. Load of shit. You're not going to do it. You're going to captain Salah. You're going to bitch out like you always bitch. You're captaining Salah. Just move forward to the next point. Let's move past Sterling.
You don't talk about. I mean, I'm happy to talk about Sterling for a little bit more. Just a little bit.
You just want to talk about City all day, mate. Why don't you go?
I love City.
I don't get it.
I love City. They're just a good team. All right, moving on to Salah. Yes, Salah looked electric. Yes, Salah probably had the most shots in the game. He did have the most shots in the game. And he looked well rested. I mean, he should have had a couple of goals there in that game.
I just love the fact, you're just like the noise, man, in the respect that if Salah scores that goal at the end, that Walker does that miracle goal line clearance, if he scored that goal, all of a sudden everyone would be just banging on the Salah drums. Oh my God, Salah, yada, yada, yada. And it's a simple fact that it was a miracle goal line clearance, which we'll probably never see again in our lives. Like, that was insane.
Everyone's on Salah though. I mean, if the choice was there, you can't even have Mane at the moment. Mane he wasn't even on the bench, was he?
Yeah, no,
so the choice between those two is not even there. I mean, the only choice is at the moment with Salah is either you own him or you own 3 Liverpool defenders. But everyone's got a bit scared about a bit cold feet on Liverpool defenders at the moment.
Yeah, they
So, but the thing is, they're not going to be playing City every week. They're playing Norwich at home first game. They most likely will not concede. So, but I mean, obviously, back to Salah. Yes, he's a must-own. We've said that before. We're probably all going to captain him, let's be honest.
Oh, there, the truth comes out.
There it is. Yeah, especially with the way he looked. I mean, they're playing Norwich. Norwich. I think they kept 14 clean sheets last season in the championship, which is bad in 48 games, is it? Yeah. So that's terrible. They conceded, I think it was like 1.7 goals per game. So they're going to concede like 4 against Liverpool in the first game. It's pretty straightforward. And Salah's probably going to bang in 3 of them. So triple captain him. Done.
Look at this guy. I've gone for, I'm going to captain Sterling all day. It's triple captain Salah.
I'm going to own both, so I have the decision between the two. See? That's the thing.
You make me laugh. Like I said, man, I know you like the back of my hand, buddy. But I think obviously Salah essential. Mane, I don't think he'll start game week 1. Wouldn't surprise me if he started because Klopp's that kind of guy. But he's not going to be as sharp as Salah, obviously.
Salah looked sharp, mate. He looked like he'd just been chilling on a beach, ready to rock and roll, and he just went straight back into it. Just every time he got that ball, just on that little right wing pocket, he just burst into the box, always looking for a shot. He looked hungry. He looked like he was not going to pass to anybody, no matter what. Just take shots, which is good. You want that from your captain.
He looks like so much of a hog. It was insane. Like that. You don't usually see him like that. Like he usually looks for players. It's usually cat and mouse. Like if Mane doesn't pass to him, then he doesn't pass to Mane. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's just like that brotherly love that they've got.
Yeah, that's it. So I think that's probably enough said about Salah. I believe we all know who that Egyptian is. He's between him and Sterling yet again for the top point scorer in the league, guaranteed. That's pretty much mixed guarantee of the season.
Salah all day. Sterling is probably he should make top 5. I don't think top 2.
Please, I mean, if he gets, obviously he's going to be preferred. One of Pep's preferred. He will get rested here and there, of course. But if he can, just push up his minutes a little bit more than last season, he'll be delivering more points.
Yeah, true. Move forward. Let's go.
Aguero, your mate, who was a lock in your game week 1 team.
Oh, man. Well, how am I supposed to predict that Jesus comes back after Aguero went away, by the way? Because Jesus went to the final and Aguero got knocked out, even though that Aguero played the 3rd place. But long story short is that Aguero, you would have assumed that he would have come back fit and firing. But obviously, for him to get 0 minutes, it's enough for me to be just off the Aguero train for game week 1 anyway. 100%. I think the press conferences are massive if Pep gives us anything. Usually he doesn't. Usually he loves to just keep everything just right here. Give you guys just enough, just like sprinkles. Yeah, have a little bit of fairy dust, but hopefully he gives a little bit away. If he gives any kind of indication that Aguero will start, then my team will just be blown up enough to start again. So we'll see what happens there.
So is Sterling currently in your team? Just curiously.
At the moment, but I'm sure that the next guy we're going to talk about, KDB, he's the one that I don't know. Like do I trust him? If he was playing that offensive midfield role all day.
What I find strange is that KDB lasted 90 minutes, barely. I mean, he ended up literally on the ground cramping up hard after staying on the pitch that long. They had 5 subs to use. They didn't use them. Salah lasted 90 minutes, but they're playing on Friday. You know what I mean? It's a bit strange that they gave him this full whacking instead of taking off their key players close to the end of the game. I found that a bit strange. And it's clear to me that KDB can't last the 90. He tapered off in that game. He was electric to start with, and he looked great. He's definitely an own for the season. He's a great player to own at 9.5 million. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But if I was to own one of Sterling or KDB, I think Sterling's more essential than KDB.
Oh, Sterling's it's just the price. If they were exactly the same price, obviously you go Sterling. But he's an enabler, KDB. You don't know what we don't know what he's someone that I'm not sure if I want to take that punt. I think that he's a bit of a punt in the respect that because he could be explosive. He could score more points than Sterling this season. I'm calling it now. Oh, he could easily do it. Yeah. It's something that
I think keep pace with him. I don't think he's going to score more than him.
You never know. KDB's we see he's going to be on set pieces and he's free kicks. So So obviously, corners and if only he was on penalties, then he'd be essential.
Yeah. I mean, there could be a case for owning both. I've seen a fair few teams that have Sterling and KDB in their team, but then if you have Salah in there as well, it begins to push the unbalanced section. We'll talk about that a bit later, but it is one of those. It's a tricky situation trying to own both KDB and Sterling. So I know it's a toughie, but there could be a point in the season where City get a nice little patch of fixtures, and you're going to be looking at owning both of them.
Yeah, definitely. I think the start of the season is crucial. That first game, if they go and smack West Ham 5-1 or something, and obviously 2 assists for KDB, 10 points, something like that. Sterling 12 points, and all of a sudden, game week 2 comes out, and we're going to be making 2 subs each. All that kind of. We'll see. To be continued anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, KDB owners out there, good on you. He's definitely going to be an option this season. I'm going to give him a little bit more time, I think. As much as I really want him instead of Sterling, and I want to bank that 2.5 and spend it elsewhere, I can't go past Sterling in my game week 1 team. I just can't not have him because I know how well owned he's going to be. And for you to not have Sterling and him explode against West Ham, you're just going to literally shoot yourself in the foot with a nice big machete, big shotgun. And you don't want that. You want to start off strong. That's it. You want to start strong, and you want to start, with as many of these high-owned players as possible, and a couple of, punts here and there. But not too punty. Don't get too punty. There's some punty players out there, man. I've seen people with, starting Dendonka or, Lundstrom in their starting 11. And then the bench has 4.5s and 4 millions on there. I'm just like, come on, don't do that. Just don't. I get it. We'll talk about that again later on. But anyway, let's move on.
We've got to get to Liverpool's defence because everyone's scared of it. Because obviously they basically haven't kept a clean sheet for a while, have they? Like there hasn't been many clean sheets anyway in their pre-season, and especially while the Three Musketeers are in the team. So it's just something that I just want to calm those fears because game week 1 hasn't even started yet. What you were thinking 2 months ago, that's instinct, yeah? So you stick to your instinct because all of a sudden they're going to beat Norwich. We know that. And they shouldn't concede. I can't see them conceding. Maybe it happens. I don't know. But if they win 4-0, for example, or 3-0, all of a sudden, Alexander-Arnold gets 2 assists. All the people that are like, TAA is a rotation risk because he got taken off early in that game. Hey, maybe he is. I don't know. I'm not bloody Klopp. But I'm just saying I think TAA is, after the back end of last season, Klopp's, he's managed the team. He knows what's going on. He knows that he's not going to just bench his right back here. That's basically a wizard with the ball. So, same as with Robertson and with VVD. Like VVD, you know what you're going to get. Robertson, the guy was ridiculous last season as well. Consistent. He got the most points as a left back ever. So this is just trying to calm those fears.
Yep. No, I totally agree with you, mate. I think obviously 2 of those, the Three Musketeers, is a must-own in your defence this season. I'm actually teetering, though. I must say. I mean, you can call it Community Shield jitters, but I'm kind of teetering on TAA.
Whoa, yes, it's got you as well. I like it.
Yeah. I'm just.
Yeah.
It's not the fear. It's more the fact that, man, just VVD. I mean, he outscored TAA last season because obviously he plays every single game.
He
plays more minutes. I know that, but. I don't know. Robertson, obviously mainstay. I'm not going to touch him. But now I'm teetering. Should I save the 0.5 and go VVD? He's going to bang in goals. We obviously, he got that assist for Matip. Any other day would have gone straight in as well. He can deliver that. And he's going to get more minutes than TAA. So, I mean, obviously, but in the end of the day, probably when it comes down to game week 38, those two are going to be, within 5-10 points of each other. Most likely, like they were last season.
Yeah.
So it's not much of a big deal, but I don't know. I'm open to VVD.
Yeah, of course. I'll say whichever one you land on. But I'm just I'm a bit curious about the old TAA backflip because a lot of people are doing it, man. I've spoken to a few people and they're a bit jittery about it, but I'm just keeping cool. And if he doesn't start like game week 4 or something, then what do you do?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we know that TAA is suspect defensively, and Liverpool aren't really going to be tested, in the first few game weeks anyway.
But that's the thing, though. TAA suspect defensively is like VVD being suspect defensively because they're in the same defensive line. So if TAA makes a mistake, VVD loses the points too. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no...
Of course. But what I'm saying is, if Klopp notices, TAE is getting skinned by Timo Pukki, better dump him, better take him off and put on Milner or someone a bit more defensive in the back line, or stick Gomez there, and then all of a sudden I've got a bit more staunch defensively to hold my 3-0 lead. Just saying, could happen.
Fair enough. Oh, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's move forward.
All right, well, we're going to talk about my boy Laporte and Sane as well. Sane actually got a bit mentions around the Twitter community after what he did in preseason. A lot of people were thinking, oh yeah, put Sane in, maybe take a chance on Sane. I don't know why you would after what he did to us last season. He's going to break your heart. He's going to break your heart again. But Sane ended up going down injured, and Mr. Laporte didn't even see the bench because of his injury.
Yeah, that was interesting. The Laporte injury was massive. I'm sure that a lot of people would be like, come on. They'd be like... But,
that was one of them, man. Laporte's still in my team. I don't want to take him out. I don't know. But, I want him, man. I want to know if he's going to play. I want him in my team for the whole season, but I'm upset.
So, I want to talk about Sane, just in the respect that, just for the fact, I hope that Munich just buys him to put us out of our misery, because we're going to put him in, and then Pep's going to heartbreak us. Even if he gets 2 goals and an assist, he probably won't even play a minute the next game. That kind of stuff. It's just, he's done it to us before, time and time again. Just sell him to Munich for like 100 million, whatever it is, and just let us be in peace.
It would be nice. Yeah, but then all of a sudden, if Sane gets sold, Mahrez becomes that little the peripheral figure that will play some minutes, get massive points, and then just not play for 3 years.
Yeah, probably. But that's all right. Sane is just a bit more. I don't know. You want him. You're like attracted to him in your team. You know what I mean? Like,
great player. Yeah, absolutely.
He's just got speed and dynamic.
What about those people, those managers going with Bernardo Silva? Just a little bonus one here. Bernardo Silva, what are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I just don't think he can return what you want to return. But he's a City midfield at the same time. Like, I remember end of last season, he was getting some returns. Like, he's going to start. He's going to start, which is good. It's pretty... He's going to start on the front 3. Like, I don't know, man. I'm wait and see on him. It could be good.
8 million for Bernardo. He did all right last season. He got 7 goals and 8 assists. So, the thing is for me, he does not offer enough going forward. Maybe that changes this season. Who knows? Maybe he has a breakout attacking season, because he's obviously in this massively attacking team, and he can do bits, but I just don't think he can do enough.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that. I don't know. It's a wait and see for me.
Do you concur?
Yes. Okay.
All right, mate. Well, that's enough about the Community Shield. We all saw it. It was a good match. It was enjoyable. So let's move on. Let's move on to Manchester United.
Harry Maguire.
All done. Signed, sealed, delivered.
£265 million.
What did they pay for him?
Okay, he's the world's most expensive defender.
What did they actually pay for him, though?
That was like £80 million. Pounds like £265 million.
That's not right, man. That ain't right, dog.
Like, he's good. Did you hear that? Have you heard that chant? United's already come up with the chant. It's gold. Look on YouTube for the slab face chant, man. Like, it's honestly, it's funny as, man. I listened to it last night before bed. I was just dying. I was hysterical. I was like, this is just gold. Like, who comes up with this shit? So good.
So what do you think? Is he going to make a difference to this suspect backline at Old Trafford?
I think that with the addition of Wan-Bissaka, there's no doubt you got De Gea in goal. You've got De Gea in goal. Like, De Gea has saved their asses time and time again in the past, and they've had a good defense. But I just feel like Solskjaer will get it together. He's had a pre-season with this defense, besides obviously Harry coming now. But I think that United will get together now. I think that I'm considering Maguire 5.5.
Yeah, in your team?
Yeah.
Wow. Over Wan-Bissaka, though. I'd go Bissaka all day, man. Bissaka's like a bonus point magnet.
Yeah, I know. I understand that.
You get a clean sheet, Bissaka gets like 12 bonus points somehow. I don't know how it works. It's just
Harry gets goals, man. Harry can pass and Harry gets goals. You know what I mean? So Bissaka, he can tackle and he doesn't get many assists. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think United's defense will steady up a little bit. I think it's going to take some time to gel. So people starting with Harry or Wan-Bissaka in their Gameweek 1 teams, I think it's a little bit silly because Chelsea are going to score. We're going to score goals. So they're going to concede Gameweek 1. That's another Mick guarantee. So I'm not starting with the... Sorry?
You don't know what you're going to get from Lampard.
Yeah, but you kind of do, I kind of do. I mean, I've watched a lot of the preseason with Chelsea, which obviously doesn't matter. But you can see what he's trying to do, what he's trying to create there, and I like it. I like what I've seen so far. I like what the formations he's set up, and the team that he's put out. I mean, I can't say that. I couldn't even say that about Conte. No, not even Conte. Obviously, Sarri, I hated every team he put out, but yeah, it did good in the end. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bagging out poor old Sarri, but I've been liking the teams that Lampard's been putting out.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, to put off the fact that I don't know the United defender because they're going to concede game week 1, like that's a bit silly because they've got Wolves away, Crystal Palace at home, Southampton away, Leicester at home. Like it's not a bad little 4-game spree after that, and they play Chelsea at home as well, Mick. So I don't know, United. I don't know. I'm open to it anyway. We'll see what happens at the end.
I think that game is an open game, though. I think that both teams concede. It's going to be an open game. They're both going to want to start the season strong, or they both just retreat into their shells and just hold for a really close contested game. So can go either way, these ones, But I just got a feeling that especially both of them brand new. Well, obviously Ollie's a little bit not as brand new as Lambs, but they're both brand new managers. They're both going to want to impress and get the crowd on their side, straight away. So you'd think they're both going to come out firing.
Yeah, it should be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a cracker.
Definitely.
Which takes us to Marshall, man. Do you think he matters?
No, I don't think he does at all.
No.
Nah, I am not looking at Marshall at all. He's been way too mercurial at United. I want him to be starting, up front alongside Rashford or whatever. He needs to be playing, consistent football. I think he's a good player, but he just has not had consistent minutes being able to actually translate into FPL points, which is what we played this game for. So I'm not looking at Marshall. No United players are on my radar at the moment besides Mason Greenwood. That's it, and until they prove otherwise, especially after how they ended last season, I'm not even touching him.
I think he's another one that I've floated. I've floated a lot around. Like I haven't looked at my team for weeks yet. Last week I've just been thrashing it. So Marshall is another one that, I'm definitely considering him as well, especially if he can start up front because we don't even know what they're going to do. They might even start Marshall up front with Rashford on the wing. We don't know that. We don't know what Ole Gunnar's going to do, or 2 up front. I think that he'll play Marshall on the wing, on left wing to cut in the usual kind of thing with Rashi up front there. But I think that he will get consistent minutes. And
that's the thing, man. That's the big thing for me. If you look at his minutes over the last 3 seasons, he hasn't cracked 1,700 minutes in the last 3 seasons.
Whose fault is that? I know that injuries is a bit of that. I think he's got an attitude problem, maybe. That's the only thing that comes to me is managers come there, they get the job because they're mature and all that kind of stuff, and they know what they want from players. And, when you've got a player there that's not really ticking the boxes that you want attitude-wise, then you're not going to play him. So maybe it's an attitude thing, but I feel like he's done the work in pre-season to have to get a crack at the end of the day. They haven't signed anyone in the in that peripheral besides obviously James, but I don't think he's competing with James. I think Marshall's miles above James, so we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. There could come a time this season where we look at Marshall. I say we. I mean me. I'm not looking at him at the moment, but not right now. I'm not looking at him right now. I need to see more from him. I mean my game week 1 team is very trust based. The players that I put in, I trust them. I don't trust Marshall.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Arsenal. Premium Pepe. He's joined the fold. Arsenal need a defender. They sign a striker / midfielder / winger, whatever the hell Pepe is. Why not? That's just standard Arsenal, isn't it?
And they're linked to sell bloody Koscielny to back to France somewhere. So they got Callum Chambers there. Mate, come on, get on the Callum Chambers train. He's gonna just see their defense safety. He's just driving the bloody train.
The thing I love about Arsenal not signing defenders ever is that any premium player, like when Salah plays Arsenal, I'm going to captain Salah guaranteed, man, because he's going to score. Arsenal are just going to need to pop goals. They're going to have to score more than their opponents basically to win games. It's funny. I think it's hilarious.
With the addition of Pepe, man, I did a lot of research because a 9-5 midfielder that's like a winger, whatever, for me, he's just alert alarm bells for me because it's someone that's can be very. I don't even think I've spoken to you about Pepe.
No, you haven't.
Pepe is someone that, again, I've had him in my team couple of times in pre-season, yeah, but until they played Barcelona and he didn't even see the pitch.
That breaks one of my cardinal rules, man. You don't. I don't like a player that hasn't been in the Premier League before.
Yeah,
they need to bed in. I need them to bed in.
I understand that.
They need to get into bed with me. Have a little fiddle around for a couple of game weeks, and then I'll think about it. Maybe I'll call you back.
Yeah, players like Michu and like Charlie Adam back then, like these are budget players as well. Well, yeah, Michu was like mid-price, but it's like they've never seen Premier League and they did their job. Like it's doable. Like a lot of players can do it. I think Pepe, look at his stats: 41 games, 23 goals, 12 assists. I know it's France, I understand it, but we're talking about a player hits peripheral that's got confidence through the roof, and he's got. Have you seen all those Instagram stories with Aubameyang and Lacazette? Like these guys have got a relationship already, and they haven't even played a minute together, and it's something that's massive. Like that's something that's undervalued as well. Relationship with players, there's more telekinesis, there's more to it than you think with the mind and all that kind of thing. And, and I think that Pepe on one wing, Aubameyang on the other wing, Lacazette up front, and then all of a sudden that Ceballos behind, if that's what they end up doing, or whatever. But you've got like a core attack. This is probably one of the best attacks in the league now, and Lacazette also becomes an option. Like I didn't even look at Lacazette last season. I would even look at Lacazette for the pure fact that there's going to be goals in this team now. There's going to be feeding each other. They're going to be feeding off each other. I'm excited to watch Arsenal. There's going to be a lot of high scoring games. They're going to concede plenty, but hopefully they score plenty as well.
Yeah, I mean, with the signing of Pepe, I think it makes. I wasn't even looking at even Aubameyang, but it makes him a really good game week 1 pick as a choice. But owning even one of these players, it really messes with your budget because Pepe's 9.5, Lacazette's 9.5, and obviously Aubameyang 11 million. It's just so much money, And who are you going to sacrifice, Salah or Sterling? You're not going to sacrifice one of them. You have to try to encompass them into your team, as well as having Salah and Sterling in there. So
if you haven't got Sterling, you can afford.
Absolutely.
If you got KDB, and then because I floated a team around, and it was my defense. Obviously, my bench was bad, and my defense was a little bit shit. But I had I had KDB, Salah, and Pepe. But Pepe didn't play against Barca, so it rules him out of my team. I just can't see him. Maybe they won't even start him. Yeah, we don't know what Emery. That's another thing is you're falling into the Emery pit of. It's just like it's a long way out, man. Like I don't know how to get out of this pit when you're in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's pretty much just don't own Arsenal players for a little bit. Maybe Emery figures it out this season. Maybe he does. I don't know what he's gonna do with that back line, but maybe he figures it out this season. Who knows?
He's a good manager. He's actually been a really good manager in the past. He's won Europa Leagues for bloody Sevilla plenty. He's a good manager.
Yeah.
Be a good manager for Arsenal, please. Just do it. I'd love to make them relevant in my team, man. I'm looking at my team right here. I'm just like, just make that relevant. Just get in there.
Yeah, well, that's another one. I'm definitely not looking at Pepe to start the season. I mean, and like I said before, Aubameyang and Lacazette, yeah, sure, you can look at them, but you're going to have to sacrifice somewhere else. So I'm not looking at them either. And obviously the Arsenal backline, I'm definitely not looking at that because that's going to be a complete joke. I do like that Leno was priced at 5 million. Maybe they should have priced him at 4 million. Maybe that would be better. But yeah, I don't know what are they going to do there? Like Mustafi? Like, did you see they brought Mustafi on in the last 6 minutes of the game against Barca to shore up their defense? I think they conceded like as soon as he came on.
Oh wow, I feel bad for him, but. Oh, well, let's see what happens. Maybe they sign someone by the end of the season. The transfer window. They haven't got long, but they need to.
Yeah, who are they going to sign? They have to pay freaking 100 million for any defender at the moment. That's the going price these days.
They're linked with the Juve defender, Rugani, who's actually really good. And
I've heard Rugani.
They want 50 million euros, which I think Arsenal will be like, nah.
All right, let's move on to my boys. The Chelsea boys, the boys in blue. I have, like I said, I've been impressed in preseason. I'm super pumped for the season to start. Lampard, he seems like he's an attacking manager. He's really utilizing the youth. Obviously, he doesn't have much of a choice in that because he couldn't sign any players. But I can see us doing some good things this season. I'm optimistic, sure, but at the same time, it is obviously a new season. Everyone's got to gel, and Lampard's got to do his own thing in the Premier League, which he hasn't done before. And we're all up in arms over Chelsea because the players are so cheap in FPL, and there's definitely value to be gained from owning a Chelsea player.
like those two players that we've got on screen, like Tammy Abraham and Charles Barkley these are players that we can consider for game week 1 because you're not guaranteed. I feel like Lamps better give us something. He better. But because if Barkley's like locked in, anyone that takes the punt on Barkley and if Barkley starts, bravo, good risk, well played. And the thing is, he's going to be on pens. We know that already. He's on pens.
Tammy took a pen when Barkley was off the pitch. So obviously it looks like Jorginho's out of the pecking order now.
I'm pretty sure the game before that Barkley and Tam were both on the pitch and
Barkley took it. Yeah.
True. So I think that he's locked in. He had an unbelievable preseason. I'm excited for Chelsea. I mean, Tammy, 26 goals last season. That's huge numbers. He's got his eye in. He's going to be ready to rock and roll. He's going to be pumped for game week 1. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure if I'll own him, but another wait and see. There was a few wait and sees, and this one's one of them. They're enablers.
That's the thing. Like, if you get in early with a Chelsea player, bravo. You really, you're braving the unknown, basically the unknown of what Lampard's going to put on the pitch, really. But I guarantee you, another Mick guarantee, by game week 3, you will own a Chelsea player, at least one, if not two, because they're so cheap. Yeah, and they're probably going to... Yeah, I got a feeling, man. That's why I'm really... Especially with this Laporte injury, I'm really looking at using that extra 0.5 to upgrade either Jota or King to Tammy Abraham.
Ooh, nice. All right.
If Lampard gives us anything, and Lampard says Tammy's his number 1 striker, which maybe he will, maybe he won't.
Please, give us something. Press conferences. Any managers, give us something.
Did we get any? I don't remember. Did Game Week 1 last season, did they give us anything? Or did they just be like, I'm going to put 11 players on the pitch, probably 4 defenders, 1 goalkeeper. They give us anything more than that?
Yeah, you know what they did was all of a sudden it was a Friday kickoff as well. So that's another remember Friday night kickoff.
Man, I'm not even going to see the press conference because the press conferences in Australia are done at like 3 in the morning.
That's what I'm saying. So all of a sudden your team, like, I'm going to be going to bed on Friday night at like 5 a.m. man. I'm going to be just definitely. I would probably go. I have a half-hour meditation about 12 just to keep me up.
Oh man. Far out. But, why Friday didn't like game week 1? That's not fair.
I know. I feel bad for you. I got the advantage on you, poor guy. Maybe that's why I beat you last season. Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the Spurs, shall we? No, but you seem to mention that every time we record. I mean,
well, the thing is that you had of the 38-week season. I think about 35 of the weeks you were in front, and you made me aware that you were in front.
Hopefully that happens again.
35 weeks, yeah.
I think hopefully that happens again. Hopefully I get a nice lead this time and I can keep it this time.
The thing is that I've got this season in the bank, man. I just keep lying on bloody last season. Hey, last season, how you doing, baby? Yeah. Sorry about that, mate.
Yeah, you and last season's are best friends. You and Nathan Redmond, best friends.
Are we so tight?
All right, let's move on to Honey Pot and Harry Kane.
Ooh, Honey Pot.
The Honey Pot himself. He is tempting everybody. Everyone wants to put their hand in the Honey Pot.
Oh, he's actually priced at 11, man. It's a beautiful price. Mm-hmm. It's for a premium. It's pretty specially priced, and
I love his price. That's probably the only thing I love about him. I think he's probably one too many ankle injuries away from a 30-goal season. So you need someone with legs. Really, Kane doesn't really own legs anymore.
I wonder if Pochettino. That's bullshit. I wonder if Pochettino learns it doesn't slave him, because I'm sure that the slaving. The continually whipping of play 90, even though Kane's probably in his contract that he must play 90 because
he's only human, unfortunately, mate.
But they just need to just take him off. If they're up 4-0 with in the 67th minute, just take him off. Do you know what I mean? As an FPL manager, keep him on. Get 2 more goals, get late goals. But you just for the kind of the durability wise. So long-term Kane owners, if you've got him for the whole season, he'll get more points if he gets subbed off, because then at least he'll be able to play the whole season. I feel like he's not old, but he's had a lot of injuries.
Hopefully Poch learned from last season. I mean, him slaving Kane away basically cost them the Champions League. True. Some would say you can look at it in that way, because Kane was literally a ghost in that Champions League game. He didn't deserve to be on the pitch at all.
Poor guy. He didn't deserve it. He definitely deserved it. But
he was injured, mate. He couldn't be there. They needed to play someone else, but they have no other strikers. I mean, that's my point on Kane. I understand people owning Kane. I don't understand people owning Kane alongside Sterling and Salah, because that's suicidal to your bench and literally a couple of your other players. It doesn't work. 3 premiums doesn't work. That's just Simple. That's quick maths. Simple maths.
Quick math.
That's all I have to say about Kane. Anything you'd like to add?
Nah, I feel like we just have to wait and see. In the respect that if he goes big against Villa, people that don't own him will look at him. Like if I've been looking at him all pre-season, and if I don't start with him, and then he goes and bangs a hat trick in, then I'm just going to be like, what have I done? And I'm probably going to rage trade him in, like, even though I don't want to. But I mean, he gets a hat trick. That's why like for me, I was actually thinking about it while we've been doing this this video and podcast. Is basically anyone that I'm really like got my heart on the whole preseason, I just want to start with him just so that I trusted my instinct. Just because if they do something game week 1, I'm going to just put him in just for the pure fact that I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those. You know what I mean? Like it's,
sure.
We'll see what happens. But Lucas, what do you think about Lucas?
Yeah, Mora, I think he's probably one of the biggest trap players for Game Week 1 teams. I've had him in my team. Like, I know he's a trap. I know he's a trap, but I've still put him in. I've just 7.5 million for basically Kane's partner in crime. I'm just like, Villa at home. I know you're a trap though. So,
Is he one of these?
No, I think he's good. I think he's that much of a lemon. I think he can deliver points, but like we said, Son comes back game week 3. He serves his ban, and that's it. All of a sudden, who knows what happens with Mora?
Yeah, true. I think for the first 2 game weeks, I just what I can see. This is the crystal ball right here. So I can see Mora. I reckon he'll score game week 1. I think with Son out, playing against Villa, who can see goals as well. I think Mora scores. All of a sudden, game week 2, Mora might go up by 0.2, and then he might even do something game week 2. All of a sudden, Son comes back, everything changes. So we'll wait and see. Even though saying that, if he gets 2 goals in the first 2 games, how can Pochettino bench him?
Exactly. That's going to make it much harder. Maybe Eriksen or Dali gets the bench or something like that.
Well, so for me, anyone that's going with Lucas, look, it's a punt, but it could be a really good punt because you could get 5 or 6 game weeks out of him before he starts to get rotated.
Have an exit strategy though, I'd say for Mora, obviously, because like we said, all of a sudden he could just get dropped straight away for Son. We don't know that. We don't know what Poch's thinking.
He needs to score. You taking the punt and putting him in, you're relying on points, and I like that. Take a risk, man. Take it.
Yes, that's another punt too far. Every time we keep talking about these different players and we mention like a semi punt or a massive punt, I realize how safe my team is. My team is just so safe. Everyone in there is like guaranteed, like 100% nailed. Definitely going to start. They're just safe players. It's all just safe picks.
You got polystyrene on every corner, huh?
You just got to play it safe to start. I like playing it safe to start. People are like, you like having a punt here and there on my game week 1 team, but then you're basically guaranteeing yourself transfers. We only have 1 free transfer a week.
Yeah, the thing is, if you stuff up game week 1, you're chasing. Like last year, you were beating me by 50 points in the first game week. 50 points.
What happened? What happened to that lead?
Oh my god, man! I don't know. I had a bad first game week last. I mean, like I was in the millions. Like as in, I'm talking like 4 or 5. I don't even know. I started disgusting, and then I had to claw my way back as per usual. But it's something that I'm going to learn from last season and played a bit more safe. I think I definitely had a crazy team last year. I didn't even want to know what it was. It was definitely crazy though. But, we'll see what happens.
All right, mate. Well, Everton. Let's have a chat about Everton. So Idrissa Gueye's gone, PSG. Zuma, it looks like he's staying at Chelsea, unless there is some late drama. Now that's putting people's arms in the air. Can we trust the Everton defence?
I think that yes. I think that look at their pre-season. That was insane. How good was that?
Yep, a lot of defensive displays there. Not many goals.
Yeah, no goals, 0. That's where the second part of this comes in. But like, still, Digne is still an option. I think even Mina could be an option if Mina locks it down. I know, like in the past, I've seen him play games for whatever, for this country or club, and he scores goals. So he's another option, obviously, as much as Coleman as well. So we'll definitely keep an eye on the Everton defence. I'm probably going to start with Digne by the look of it.
It hasn't scared me away at all. Like this little uproar that's happened. I don't think it's fine. I think Keane and Mina, they're a good defensive partnership. You still got Coleman and Digne on the left and right, so I don't see any problem with that. I think Digne's a great player to own. set pieces. The guy is an actual goal threat. 6 million is a bit pricey for an Everton defender. I get that, but the best thing about it is, if all of a sudden he just looks average and Everton are conceding, they're not watertight, then you just move him to Chelsea defender or something. He's very easy to move on.
Yeah, Dinier's. Yeah, you're right. It's an excellent strategy. You love it. Hey, look at you.
Always.
You really go deep into this Game Week 1 team, into extra strategies, into the.
Yeah, that's it, man. You're always gonna have it. I mean, it looks like we're both gonna start with 4 at the back.
Super safe.
I did that last season. I started 4 at the back, and I went away from it. I'm hoping not to do that this season. Sorry?
It worked for you started last season.
I know.
Your lead was because of your defense.
Yeah, I know. And then I went away from it like an idiot. I fell down traps and went for the trap players, and all of a sudden moved my budget around from the defense. So I'm hoping to not do that this season. That's why I've thought through some exit strategies for my defenders to other defenders instead of moving the money forward. But in saying that, if all of a sudden premium strikers start banging in goals, I'm pretty screwed.
I've got to talk about Keane in a respect that I seen him last season.
Oh, the moisture.
Moisture Keane. He's,
I like that.
Yeah, I think that Moise could be a good signing. 7 million.
How is it pronounced? Sorry, is it Moise or is it Mayus or how is it?
No, Moise. Yeah,
definitely Moise. Okay,
100% moisture. Yeah, it's yeah, he's an option. I think it's for 7 million. I feel like it's a bit overpriced. I feel like if he had come in at 6.5, would have made a bit more interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 7 million. That doesn't make sense. I mean, that's what they priced like Tosin at last season. And it was too much, obviously.
I feel like they did that for the pure fact if they exploded, because he could explode. He hasn't played much. He's 19 years old. He's basically he's played 3 games for Italy, scored 2 goals. I watched those games, man. I love this kid, man. I really do. I hate Juventus with a passion, yeah. But I actually enjoyed watching him for Juve. He's exciting. He's something that obviously we're Italian as well as Australian. I love the Italian national team, and he's someone that. We need a striker desperately, and I feel like he's going to grow in England, especially going there at 19 years old. He's going to mature. He's going to grow throughout the season. I think to start with him, I'm not sure if I would start with him if I was recommending out there. But 7 goals last season in 17 games for a Juventus team, which he didn't start often at all. They didn't play him. He can do damage. That was a decent return for a 19-year-old anyway.
Yeah, I mean he could start game week 1, but it's a bit of a risk, and it's another punty option. Like obviously, with my safe strategy, I'll definitely be looking at him game week 1. But definitely when he starts playing, I mean, I'm expecting goals from him, and I'm expecting him to really bump up the stats of like people like Richarlison and definitely Sigurdsson, because he's going to offer that threat up front, which they currently don't have. Like he will be first choice forward for their striker for them. By game week 5 or whatever, and once he settles in, definitely I can see that happening for sure.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, obviously, Calvin Lewin, he nearly had a chance. He nearly had a real good, proper crack. But I think it's going to be better that Keane comes, because at least they're going to push each other. And Calvin Lewin needs to be pushed. I feel he didn't get pushed last season. You knew that Silva didn't like Cenk. You knew that. So all of a sudden, you got this guy who he got into great positions, and he just lacked the finish, really. Let's be honest. So,
Calvert-Lewin's a little bit older than Moyes. Calvert-Lewin's 22, so he's got that little bit edge on him. But I think he's going to play second fiddle to him.
Yeah, I think you could be right. Calvert-Lewin might start the season, but then all of a sudden, Moyes will take over.
Yeah, that's it.
But
All right, mate. Shall we have a chat about the Leicester boys? The Vardy bus is coming. Are you gonna get aboard the Vardy bus is coming? You getting aboard or what?
we like the Vardy.
Maybe.
I'm probably not at this point, but you just never know, man. I think Vardy could have a big season. I don't know. We were talking on Twitter. I was actually involved in that conversation with you. Were talking with someone, and I just think that Vardy can, with Perez, Maddison, and Tielemans feeding him. You never know.
Massive. They've really invested well in their midfield this season. I can see Leicester challenging for the top 6. I really can. I reckon they're going to be knocking on the door. I reckon their main goal for this season will be Europa. That will be their goal. But I can see them doing some good things this season. I mean, obviously they've lost Maguire, which is a pretty big loss in that defence. So I wouldn't be looking at them defensively unless they replace Maguire. But going forward, man, I mean, owning one of their attackers, I think is a must. Nearly, they're well priced.
Rodgers did good, man.
Yeah, that's it. Bloody Kenny Rogers, he's all right. Kenny Rogers roasters. He's gonna roast up some goals this season, mate.
Some goodness, some goals.
But I mean, I'm not looking at Vardy. I think Vardy is a bit pricey for me. 9 million again. It's just that awkward price. I don't like, it's same as trying to fit KDB in 9.5. It's a very awkward price to fit in. But his partner in crime, who's going to be playing the Okazaki role for this season, Mr. Ayoze Perez. That's where I'm about. I'm about 6.5 million. 6.5 million, playing as a out of position striker. Yeah, I'll take some of that.
Yeah, he's out of. I mean, look, he's going to be playing probably just behind, but he's definitely out of position. And 6.5 for a player that he's going to start. They spent all that money for him. Perez, he scored a double in preseason the last week or whatever it was. But I can't see how a lot of people don't start with him. I think that not that you have to start with him, but I mean, only 13.8% people own him, which is a bit.
Oh wow, that's a bit strange.
A bit of a goal.
I think he's definitely a sleeper pick, that one. I mean, yeah, watch out for Perez. I've seen him in a lot of Twitter teams. So I mean, there is that Twitter template, but the Twitter template, it's for game week 1. It's a strong team because there's a lot of thought being put into it. People have been on, putting these teams together since the game came out, over a month ago. Yeah. So
Twitter is probably the best forum for FPL, isn't it? It actually is. It
is, but I think during the season, it's hard to subjugate yourself from the noise compared to what you should be doing, like your gut feels, you're watching the games,
right.
Your eye test and that. But I think game week one, there's a lot you can learn from just looking at people's drafts on Twitter. I mean, I see a lot of drafts on there, and I'm just like, really, you can't do that. But then I see a lot of drafts and I'm like, okay, I can see what you've done there. Somehow you fit in a decent squad around, say, 3 premiums, and you made it work. But yeah, you can see where sacrifices need to be made to make it work. So it's just there's a lot. It's a roller coaster on there at the moment, which is it's cool. It's cool to see everyone's different ideas and how they're gonna start the season.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, just back your gut, man. That's always what I'll say is always back yourself.
Oh yeah. Definitely. All right then. Well, our favourites last season, our favourite promoted team, the Wolves. The Wolves and the Europa jet lag, mate. I mean, they're travelling 6,000 miles. 3 games before the season begins? So 3 days before the season begins. My bad. And mate, it's definitely going to take its toll.
That's huge. I didn't know it was 6,000. 6,000?
Armenia.
Armenia, damn! Where is that place, man? Wow, that's a long way away. 6,000. There you go.
I think they're going to struggle. I have Jota in my team at the moment. I really don't want to have him because who knows? I mean, the thing is, pretty much the game's going to decide. That Europa League qualifier is going to decide whether or not I own Jota. If Jota plays 90 minutes 3 days before they got to play game week 1, yeah. I'm not gonna own him. It's crazy to think that. I mean, even if he does play, that he's going to be sharp enough to actually deliver points.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they're going to want to. Obviously, they played pretty strong 11s in their previous 2 Europa League games, and I feel like they're going to want to finish the job and make it actually into the cup. It'll be what an achievement after your first season in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
So it's something that they've got Leicester away, United at home, Burnley at home, Everton away, Chelsea at home. So those first 5 fixtures, they're a bit dangerous. So it's something that. I'm Team Jimenez, man. I am Team Jimenez, and it's something that I'm unsure at the moment. He's actually in my team at the moment. I've actually got Jimenez with an eye, a yellow injury eye, in my team, man. Orange. So I don't know. I don't think I'll start with him, to be honest. Especially, I didn't even know that the 6,000K thing. It depends on that. There's a lot of depending. We'll see who starts and all that kind of thing, and see what happens. Yeah.
Yep, that's it. It's going to come down to it. Obviously, this season we're not even looking at the Wolves' defense, but what I am looking at the Wolves' defense for is for Leicester's attack. That I can see Leicester, burying the Wolves in their first game week 1 game.
You could be right, man. That's a big call. Yeah.
Well, especially Wolves are going to be jet lagged as hell, and who knows what team they're going to put out for that game week 1 game. So I reckon watch this space and beware of that Leicester attack.
Yeah, man, you could be spot on there. I just looked at game week 2 with you saying that, and they've got United game week 2, so Marshall might matter.
All right, mate. Well, that moves us on to our last point. Bulk, premium, or balanced squad?
What do you think?
We've peppered this throughout the episode. You obviously know where I stand on this. I'm Captain Balance. I like a nice balanced squad.
Same.
I don't need to own every premium player in the game because that's not how you play this game, unfortunately. I wish it was. I wish I could own Aubameyang, Kane, Sterling, Salah. I wish. That'd be awesome, man. But then I also wish I had a 200 million budget, but I don't. I only have 100 million to spend.
265 million.
Your Honor. So, in saying that, yeah, that's how you play this game. You need all your 11 to get you points, yeah? If you own Kane, Sterling, and Salah, and they all score 10 points each, that's 30 points. But then you've got 2 dead players in your team, most likely, who are going to get you 2 points each. So, from those 5 players, you're only getting 34 points, right? But then if you've got Kane and Sterling, 10 points each, and then you've got some mid-price players in there getting you 5 to 8 points, then all of a sudden you're going to easily break the comparison. And it's so simple. That's simple to me. That's the way I look at it. And I only need 2 premium players because I can only captain 1 player.
I think that it depends on the season. I completely think that it depends. I'm not going to say you only need 2 whatever premiums. All I'm saying is depends on the balance. Depends on the way that everyone's priced. Depends on the players. Like Perez, for example. If we had 4 6.5 Perez's, it's different. You put 2 or 3 of them in, and it's different. But there's not many times you have that player like the Sigurdsson. Like for me, Sigurdsson, Perez are essentials for me. Yeah. For example, you got 8 for Sigurdsson. It's just the fact that whatever prices scream at you, like for value, you want value. Yeah. So if you see someone like Kane at 11, if his value, put him in. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Like for me, Sterling, I'm not like for 12. I think he's a bit overpriced, to be honest. Obviously, he could turn into magic value though. But it's just about the way that your perception is of those players and what you think they will expect, expected points. So someone like Salah, for example, 12.5 for me, that's good value. I'm happy with that. That's why I'm looking at my defense. Someone like for me, Digne for worth 6. That's I don't see. It's not massive value. It could turn into be massive value. That's why I'm taking a punt there. I feel. You know what I mean? I don't think it's given to me. But for example, someone like Robertson worth 7. You know what you're gonna get. That's value. So it's about looking at the value play. So if for example, if you wanted to have, say, Kane, Salah, and KDB or something like that, something a bit excessive, I feel like it can still work as long as you've got value players around. But if you can't make a value team, then what I mean. It's ultimately your point and my point is the same in the respect of balance. If you got balanced value, I can see it. Because remember back in the day, you remember my teams back in the day. My defense was horrific, like really bad, and I could get away with it because a lot of those 4.5s back then, they did shit. They scored goals, they assisted. They were actually decent players to have. These days, there's not many 4.5ers that can actually be really relevant. Which is it's the evolution of the game. It's the evolution of the player and all that and whatever. You know what I mean? So it's something you got to go with.
Yeah, and it's also FPL Towers bumping up the price of defenders.
Of course, exactly. Another thing. So it's just. Yeah, for me, it's about it's same kind of thing. It's just different points, but in value. You've got to go with your value.
Yeah, but that's the thing with premium players at the moment. They're priced at that 12 million mark. Yeah, they're 11, 12, over 10 million. If you could have, say for example, Salah, Sterling, and Kane were all worth 10 million, absolutely you can own all 3. That's great because you're gonna have that little bit extra. The 6 odd million extra to spend on other players, but you don't have that. If you own Kane, Salah, and Sterling, you're screwed. You're done because you've got, what is it, 35 million tied up. 35.5 million, is it?
Yeah,
tied up in 3 players. That's crazy, man. That's nearly 40%, nearly half your team.
True.
I mean, I'm obviously I'm exaggerating it, but that's crazy in 3 players.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? And you can only captain one of them. I keep saying it. I'll say it again.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on your instinct for the players. Like someone like Perez, like I say Perez is great value 6.5. Someone else says that's a load of shit. So it's about what you think. So if I say,
sure.
all right, I'm gonna have these 3 premiums, and then all right, Perez is my value pick. I'm gonna have this guy 4.5 at the back value pick. So all of a sudden it turns into a relatively balanced team in your opinion. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. If you're happy with your team, do it. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's true. That's true. But I think. In saying that, I've seen people that say, "Oh, I'm happy with my team," but they have they have 4.5 million players starting. They've got Greenwood in their starting 11, and they've got, I don't know, Dendonka in their starting 11. Two bench fodder players that are going to literally play for minutes, get you 2 points a game week. That's not balanced to me. That you should not be happy with your team.
But it's not, again, you telling people how they should feel about whatever. It's about what they want. You know what I mean? They can do what they want.
Oh, absolutely.
I know you're just trying to help. I understand that.
Yeah, if you want to lose, do that.
I'm with you there. But again, it's about I love bringing it back to the Perez point here, because the Perez point is, I see magic value in this player when other people will see this guy he's worthless. Why would you even consider him? Do you know what I mean? It's about his opinion versus my opinion. Like someone like, let's say, for example, Milivojevic. There's going to be a lot of people that have got Milivojevic as their number one player, and they're like, nah, I don't care. He's my go-to guy.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, and I don't rate him at all. Do you know what I mean? So it's someone that, as in, like, I rate him. He's a great player, but as in, I don't think he's going to get as many penalties with Zaha not there, or not playing as many games. I'm not sure what's going on with Zaha at the moment.
Yeah, Zaha's still up in the air.
But do you know what I'm trying to do? You understand my point? So it's the fact that you can have Millie, and so he has mad respect for Perez, mad respect for another cheapie. All of a sudden, you got yourselves a few other cheapie players that can mix it with your expanded premium squad. I'm making a good case here. I like this. I might do some crazy shit like this. Yeah.
I think if you're going to start with a 4.5 million player in your 11. In your actual 11, it's got to be a defender, but you can't expect much from them. It's basically a dead player. He's going to get appearance points, the odd clean sheet. If you move it up to, but the thing is, if you're going to start with someone that's 5.5 as a defender, the thing is, you're going to have 5 at the back to be able to fit it all in, to make it all work. You know what I mean? It's just so many sacrifices to make to fit that extra premium player in, who realistically can only score. Think, what's their ceiling? Their ceiling is 17 points, a hat trick. That's their ceiling. Okay, and that's a lot of points from one player. I get that, but they're going to do that maybe twice in the season, maybe, and it may not even happen. So now I'm all for full balance. 2 premiums is an absolute maximum for me. That way you can spend money on the rest of your team, and that way you can actually move around. And if you have that in your head that you can only own 2 premiums for the rest of the season, then say for example, Kane starts absolutely firing, he's must own. Okay, then you say, okay, who am I going to take out to bring Kane in? You don't try to bloody just buckle him in there somehow alongside Sterling and Salah. You say, okay, maybe Sterling goes to bring in Kane. But and then in saying that, you're kind of making another mistake of taking out a premium player who can score you points. If Sterling is quiet 2 games and then all of a sudden the 3rd game scores a hat trick and that's the game you take him out, all of a sudden you shot yourself in the foot again.
You're pissed.
Yeah. So no, I'm sold on Salah and Sterling start of the season. And I'm going to give them time. I'm going to give them plenty of time to prove me wrong. And if they do prove me wrong, okay, maybe I'll move them out. But plenty of time, like way too much time. Maybe 38 game weeks.
Hey, I'm sold on Salah all season, but everyone else besides, probably for me, the players that I'm stuck with is Robertson, Alexander-Arnold, Sigurdsson, Salah, and Perez. I'd say those 5. I'd say Perez, Salah, Siggy, TAA, Robbo. Stuck.
Yeah, I like that.
But Sterling, he's not stuck for me. We'll see.
Sterling's definitely stuck for me. He ain't going anywhere. He's got my 2nd premium spot locked down. Very simple.
No, very good. Very good.
All right. Well, before we go, I do want to mention our public league. That's free for anyone to join. I will give you the link. It is DPTW07. And that if you do want to join the league, just hit us up on Twitter or Insta, and we'll give you the league code if you can't remember that, or if you couldn't pause it to write that one down. But yeah, that's a free league we have going. We also have a cash league going this season, which is very exciting. Something we didn't do last season, but I thought I'd give it a crack this season. Put it on Twitter, see who wants to join. We currently have 22 in there. It's $10 AUD to join, which is Australian dollars. So if you do want to join, hit me up on a DM on Twitter, FPL Take the Hit, or on Instagram. You can hit up Joff on Instagram at FPL Take the Hit. And we'll add you to the league. We're happy to make that league. I think I might cap it off at about 50 odd if it gets there. I'm hoping it doesn't, because I do want it to keep the numbers relatively low so that we can have a fairly good crack at getting the top spot. So I've currently got the prizes at first prize is 60% of the pool, second prize 30%, and third prize 10%.
Fair enough. Nice.
Yeah, so we've got 22 strong in that so far, so that should be an awesome league. And also, we're going to touch on our Patreon. If you do want to support us, head over to www.patreon.com/FPL Take the Hit. We've got obviously our 2 private Patreon leagues in there as well. So they're going to be very, very exciting this season. We've got the Squad League, which is a Patreon-only league that's fantastic at the $6 tier. Yeah, very pumped for that one.
That league, man.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So head over to Patreon if you do want to support us. We do have a special promotion going at the moment with the $1 tier. So if you do want to get involved, that gets you into the Slack channel, which is great. We've actually had a whole bunch of people to sign up to the Slack channel this season, all part of it. We've had some people to just go above and beyond the Slack channel to providing new player prices and injury updates and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been fantastic, that Slack channel
really
since
awesome.
Since been a part of it. So yeah, thank you very much for that, guys. So big shout out to all our patrons. Thank you so much for all your support. We really do appreciate it. You've kept us going. You've helped us purchase a whole bunch of stuff to keep the pod going and obviously get us live on YouTube as well.
That's it. Thank you very much. Love.
That's it. Well, that is it from us, guys. Good luck in game week 1. Hopefully we've helped you guys out and we've helped you steer clear of some traps and helped you pick up some decent plays for game week 1. And I am super pumped for the season, and it's going to be fantastic start to the season for me, I believe. So that's it. We are FPL Take the Hit. Always remember to stay positive.
Keep chasing them green arrows, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.